Welcome to Anime Brew, a caffeinated quest to avoid the real world one series at a time. I'm Maddie,
And I'm Liz.
and today we have an Espresso Edition episode, and we are going to be discussing Toradora.
Yay!
Which is if you are unfamiliar, then stop this episode. Stop listening now. Go watch it. It's not that it's 25 episodes, so average length. Worth every single episode. So go watch it, then come right back. We're not going anywhere. Okay, so
if you don't watch it, you're going to get spoiled. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You don't leave anything out.
Nope. Just get right into it. So, because this is an Espresso episode, we are not doing, if you did not see the Sign of Affection episode, because this is our second time doing this, in these episodes, we don't do our iced coffee breakers or questions or any extra stuff. We just talk about the anime. So, that's why these are a little bit shorter, more condensed. And yeah. So, Toradora is a special anime to me because it is one of the first. I honestly don't really remember the order of all the anime that I watched when I first got into anime, but I know that I remember, Liz, I feel like you told me to watch this one pretty early on because it was on Netflix.
That is why I don't remember, because I remember watching it together as one of our COVID shows.
Oh, wait, I thought you had already seen it.
I don't remember. Maybe I have, because I had another friend telling me what to watch. So maybe I watched the first couple episodes, then it turned into our COVID show. Because there were a couple shows where we were just, during COVID, we would FaceTime each other and watch the episodes together.
Yes.
And I remember this was one of them.
I do remember that too.
I don't know if it was the whole series that we did together, or if it was just a couple episodes.
I think we watched more of Violet Evergarden than...
No,
we watched
the Ghibli film.
We watched Ghibli, but we also, I do remember not the Violet Evergarden series, but like the extra, like not the main movie, but like the side ones. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, there was that. I don't know.
There were a couple like
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Fever Dream.
I think, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So this is I do remember, though, this is definitely one of the first romcom animes that I watched.
Yeah.
And so I think, like, at the time, I didn't know. I mean, I knew it was great, but I think going back and watching it again made me realize, like, this is pretty peak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
So let's just get into the story of it.
Yeah.
I guess is probably the easiest way to start. Sometimes I'm smart and I write down the names of the characters ahead of time in these discussions, and today was not one of those days. So let me think real quick.
The male lead was
Ryuji, and then there's Taiga.
Taiga. And I love
Minori.
their names.
Yeah.
Dragon. Because it's like, it's such a play on words. It's like Taiga is sounds like tiger, and it's like little palm top tiger Taiga, which is so
Yes.
funny. I love that. And Ryuji, dragon is Ryu in Japanese, and he's always called the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And that ties in with the title of the anime. So, Japanese for tiger is Tora. And then it's Asdora for like shortened for dragon. So it's the same thing for the title.
Right.
And it's reverse, so it's like reverse on the English and Japanese. But either way, I found that really cool and funny.
Yeah, because if you look on the art of the cover of the show, it says for centuries only dragons and tigers have been considered equals. So it's kind of giving you that it's a precursor kind of to what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is definitely clever.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love how their names are completely opposite of who they are in some ways. It's like the guy is like, he's just a sweet, like almost like golden retriever sometimes. He's just a good guy.
Yeah.
And everybody's scared of him. Then Taiga is pretty much a tiger, though. But she doesn't look like one. She looks like a little anime girl that's short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she can become scary real fast.
Really fast.
She's got, they always say the short people have anger issues, and this show definitely plays into that.
Definitely, it does.
So I'm curious. I kind of feel like I remember the first time I watched the show that I could kind of tell where it was going pretty early on, even based off of the theme song.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious if you felt the same way, because like if you like, did you think Ryuji and Taiga would end up together?
It's sort of like a mix, because typically if the two cover main characters, they're probably going to end up together.
Yeah.
So it's like, in my mind, I already knew that was Endgame. But for the first half, it definitely was questionable, and it felt like the first half had almost like no plot, because you were waiting for something to happen with the other love interest. Then all of a sudden, it just starts snowballing into Taiga and Ryuji's relationship. Like, very, very suddenly.
Well, really the last like 3 episodes are insane.
Really? Yeah.
Like,
Completely.
this is the I've never seen an anime that goes from, your typical like they finally confess to each other to please run away and marry me tomorrow.
Yes.
Like,
That part
what?
was insane.
Yeah. That it was very entertaining. I rewatched this, or when I rewatched it recently, I did with my friend, and honestly, it was kind of entertaining because she hasn't seen as many anime. She wasn't sure if Taiga and Ryuji would actually end up together, or if the show was just teasing us this whole time.
Right.
And then the scene of them on the bridge and them confessing to each other and that whole thing, it was so funny. Her reaction was insane.
Yeah. And I honestly don't know how to feel about the last 3 episodes, because it feels like from any time before the bridge to then, it's like a complete 360 almost. Like, they are... Like, after the second half, you can start to see them gain feelings for each other.
Yeah.
It's like, all of a sudden, it's like, okay, they are together now. I felt like there needed to be a couple more episodes, and I guess it's the ski trip that sort of put the nail in the coffin for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't that with the episode before the bridge?
I believe so.
Yeah.
There was a Christmas party, and then there's a ski trip.
And it was in one filler episode with the mom trying to take her back, I think. Then it was the bridge episode. Or it was the same one.
Right. I think that was the same, but yeah.
Yeah. So I guess in some ways you can see it making sense how it became so rushed with a near-death experience. And I thought that whole thing was so... the ski trip was interesting.
Yeah, it was, because I think, So I think the show did a good job with Ryuji and Minori's like friendship, that they kind of had some closer moments that were interesting. But I feel like with Kitamura and Taiga, like from one of the very first episodes, like he literally rejected her at like the beginning of the show. So, and it's like they never, like there was never, nothing was ever going to come of that. So I felt like the show was trying to, because there's the one scene at like the bonfire, right?
Yeah.
And then the ski trip, like she thought that it was Kitamura who saved her at first. And yeah, I just think that I'm not sure. It was like she was still, well, it was comedic how obsessed she was with him, like especially at the beginning of the show.
And I was sort of sad because it was like he confessed first and she said no.
That's true. But that was like in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah.
In some ways though, I kind of prefer the first half of this show, just because every episode it's just very silly, and you're seeing like Taiga is just basically abusing Ryuji, and like when he's taking care of her, and then they can't talk to their crushes, and that whole thing, like it is very well done.
It is.
And like I don't like, you don't see that plot too often, or
you really don't.
Like really not at all. But
I think I've seen a couple like that, but never as nicely done as Toradora.
Yeah. And like the pacing of the episodes is just, it's just great. Like
it is.
Like honestly, like I like of like the rom-com anime that I've seen, like I feel like the most similar one, but not really, is Horimiya. But as far
That's
as
true.
like humor and pacing, like it's just the best. Like it's just something completely different happens in every episode. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Like episodes like the pool episode.
That one. That was
It's
something
just
else.
it was just something else. Um and oh, and then when blue-haired girl comes on the scene,
Oh yeah.
I she grows on me over time.
Over time, she does. At the very beginning, I almost want
She's
to
just
strangle her. She's just so
yeah,
terrible.
yeah. She's just a preppy girl, and then you
Complete.
kind of get to learn more about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, her interactions with Ryuji are always interesting.
They are. Definitely. And yeah. I definitely liked the whole summertime episode where they went to that beach house.
Yeah.
Like that was fun because they were all trying to help each other but equally sabotage him at the same time.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it was fun. And at that point it's like the friends were all trying to get him and Taiga together as well.
Right.
And so it's like an Uno reverse. It's like, hi, you're trying to help do this, but really we're doing it to you.
Yeah, like it was like Ryuji and Taiga thought they were doing this thing, like trying to scare Minori. And
Yeah,
then was actually it was actually their ploy to get Taiga and Ryuji closer. So
I know. And that's funny. And yeah, I liked the light fluffiness of the first half.
yeah.
Where yes, maybe it didn't have so much direction, but the lack of direction what made it so much fun.
Right.
I just made the second half feel just so rushed because it's like, oh yeah, they're supposed to end up together. We're already on episode 20.
Yeah. And like I think I do think the character development is definitely there.
There is.
And
I definitely
because
see Taiga grow from an immature girl to someone that can take care of herself and learn from Ryuji.
mhm.
I don't know if I saw as much growth as Ryuji, though. I don't know.
Like Ryuji didn't change that much. Is that what you mean?
In some ways, yeah.
I think so. Another thing that I did like though about this show is I do feel like it did have a little bit of some serious underlying themes that you could see both Ryuji and Taiga working through with their different
Mhm.
parent situations.
Right.
So like Ryuji just had his mom and
Yeah.
you know she had
And
a questionable career and
and he was basically raising her, the parent.
yeah.
And he had daddy issues with the dad abandoning them.
Mhm.
And
And
yeah.
then like Taiga also has daddy issues, but
Yeah.
it,
But more severe and like basically abandoned. It's
yeah,
like,
it was more so manipulative
Very.
And like she knew that she didn't want him in her life because of the past and because of those patterns. But Ryuji was stuck on the fact that he couldn't understand why wouldn't you want your dad in your life if you have the chance, because he didn't have the chance. And so they kind of like had that conflict, and like they both, I mean, like that's some pretty serious stuff. And they both like learned from that. And were able to understand why they felt that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think, like, I feel like from Ryuji's perspective, though, when it come to Taiga's dad, like, I felt like it was kind of unfair because Ryuji didn't know anything, really. Because Taiga wouldn't tell him. Minori knew everything and just snapped. She just snapped at him, but no one actually communicated. Like,
nobody did. Like,
her past.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was a little bit, like, a bit unfair for Ryuji. Because it did kind of look like I could see how it looked like Taiga was just using the money from her dad, but not actually trying to have a relationship with him. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I felt so bad for her during the cultural festival, like just waiting for her dad to show up. Looking all nice and pretty. And all excited.
Yeah.
And then never showing up.
Yeah.
And you see that same emotion about her during Christmas time.
Right.
Like that excitement to see like this figure that she's always idolized.
And
that episode also was sad in some ways. Like she was just waiting and waiting, not knowing that Santa wasn't.
Well, wasn't it that she did know that, because I feel like if I recall that when she talked to Ryuji towards the beginning of Christmas season, like she knew that Santa wasn't real, but it was kind of like this like childlike coping mechanism. Like almost like just like telling herself that he was going to come or something was going to happen.
Yeah.
Which was why the Christmas episode was really sweet when Ryuji shows up.
It was.
Even though equally a little bit weird in some ways.
Because he was in a bear outfit.
Yeah.
And not to mention Kikomura in the weird Santa Don Quixote outfit. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's when you really start to see their relationship starting to develop. Because he decided rather than be with Minori, go be with Taiga.
Right.
And I thought that was sweet. And we also see the Christmas star dropping. And in some ways I feel like there should have been more significance of it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they made such a big deal out of it, but then it was sort of like half-baked.
Yeah. It was kind of like, well, and that happened, and
now
we're going on a ski trip.
Yeah.
next episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah. It was cute that during the ski episode when she lost a hairpin that Ryuji gave her, she went nuts and jumped off a cliff going to look for it.
And
It's
then almost died, but
yeah. But I don't know. That's sweet.
it was.
Mm.
Also the scene when they're wait, was it Ryuji was locked himself in the closet when they were in the girls' room, or was it the other way
Yes.
around?
That
Yeah.
was the episode. Yeah.
And like overhears everything.
Yeah, that one was funny. And then completely freaks out about how messy the room is. I don't know why, but that OCD cleaning thing is just a funny gag throughout the whole entire show.
It is because
That
Taiga
and the
just
bird.
does not care. That and what?
And the bird, the parrot.
Oh yes.
That
Yeah,
parrot,
what's
honestly,
going on with that parrot?
I don't know, but I feel bad for the poor thing.
It's always on the verge of death.
It is.
I feel like there's got to be some story behind like what made them think to put that in the show? Like did the creators have a parrot? There's got to be some meaning behind that. It was so random.
It is. But that bird is like the funny, like little comedic point in a scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I I want to figure out if there's a significance. But yeah.
So, yeah, then we have the Ryuji and Taiga decide on a whim to run
Get
away
married
and
and
get
elbow.
married. Yeah.
And like that part was like that was so insane. Like then she goes and switches schools.
Right.
Like why? Like why switch schools? What was the significance of that?
Why did they have to leave?
Because the parents were after them.
Taiga's parents, right?
Yes.
And then it was Ryuji's mom, right? That was like, you guys
going
gotta
to go do
go.
it. Oh, if you're
Right.
if you're really going to do it. Then they go to the grandparents' place. And like the next town over.
Right.
And that scene is also something else. It's so cute in some ways, but I don't know. It feels like the whole show just like went crazy after the ski trip.
Yeah, it's complete whiplash, and it's like, I love how the friends are just completely on board. Like, okay, we'll give you anything you need.
Yes, but also Kimura, he dyed his hair blonde and decided, I'm not going to be soon. He randomly had a weird arc where he's like, I'm changing everything about myself. Okay, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going back.
Yeah, well, it was because he couldn't handle the pressure, and the only way to get out of it
Was to be
was
rebellious.
blonde. Yeah, was to be rebellious. But then they forced him back into the position because if not, then Taiga would have been president and the whole school probably would have burned down.
Yeah. And also there was a weird arc with Minorin when she was wearing the weird kabuki outfit for like a couple more episodes. I still don't understand.
I don't know either.
All I know, after the cultural festival, everything just like went nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It really just flipped, but it was entertaining. I do think the relationship between Taika and Ryuji was cute.
It was.
And it's like, not enemies to lovers or rival. It's like, I don't know. I like when they're butting heads. Like, it's cute in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely was. Because, like, from the beginning, like, Ryuji just wanted to take care of her.
Mm-hmm. And that was sweet.
Yeah. Like, even from the very beginning, trying to help her get pictures of Kitamura.
And that's just so creepy. But sweet.
Yeah. They're like crouched down like by the baseball field, just like
taking the worst quality photos.
Worst quality. And then yeah, I loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he was definitely helping her out a lot more than the reverse.
Yeah.
Like, and then at one point it's like they sort of tried to hint that maybe the glasses dude and Minorin could be a thing with a softball game. And they just like tossed that straight out of the window.
Yeah, because I don't know, because it honestly felt like a lot of times that Minori did like Ryuji and was just letting but she thought that it needed him more.
Yeah. Which I think that was a sweet sacrifice. But honestly, I would have liked the show more if she ended up with the glasses guy because they seemed like a good couple. They balanced each other out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the shows where every couple ends up together and everyone's happy.
Yeah, because then we also have Kawashima, or the blue-haired girl. And she's just kind of there.
Just thrown in there for the fun of it. And
which, yeah, she just spiced things up, but yeah, so the three of them don't end up with anyone, and they're just kind of like,
okay.
They're just like, we'll do anything for the main characters. Don't mind us.
Exactly. We're just the side characters that don't get happily ever after. We're just the forgotten characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I feel like that's the good majority of the plot. Or anything else?
Honestly, no. That is one thing that, like, with slice of life shows is like I love them. I love rom-coms, but you kind of know what you're getting yourself into as far as
really do.
school setting, where things happen, characters get closer to each other. I think Toradora definitely has some more defining aspects than other slice of lives, just because like we have two different trips that the main characters go on, and we have the whole Christmas arc, and then the eloping is unusual for to say the least, for shows usually don't end like that. So there's definitely like there's some things that make this show memorable as opposed to it's just it's genuinely funny.
It is.
So yeah, but there's not, I mean, we talked about the main characters and their parents, but other than that, there's not anything super deep going on here. So it's just mostly it doesn't take itself too seriously.
It really does not.
So it's a fun watch.
It is. And I love the animation for it, how it's just big, bright colors. And it's just very bright and cheerful. I feel like that also adds to the lightness of the show. It's like a very clean cell block style. It's definitely very 2010 anime style.
That's what I was thinking too. Like I think especially with the eyes.
Yes, completely. And definitely the eyes and the hairstyles.
Yeah, I feel like in more modern anime, I feel like we've kind of moved to, well, we were talking earlier about kind of the rise in off recording. We were talking about the rise of like pastel colors used in anime now. But I feel like when it's not that, I do feel like it's a lot also more neutral in some ways. Like instead of every character having like a different hair color and defining like hairstyle, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very basic, and it's the very like 3D realism.
That too.
Which it's a beautiful animation style, but it's overused now, and it sort of loses the unique lifeness of the 2010s. It's bright, it's cheerful, it's very unique. Like, sure, there's some aspects of the 2010 animation style that I don't care for. Like the eye anatomy. Some of the hairstyles for the men especially. But besides that, I honestly prefer the 2010 style. And there was like a weird period in between 10s and the 3D realism. Where it was sort of like a mixture of the both. Like I think of the remastered Fruit Baskets. As one of them, where it's sort of like in between the two. Where you still have some parts of the 2010 style, but equally it's more of a realistic style as well. And yeah.
Yeah, that's
I also
true.
love it when I've seen it in Toradora and I've seen it in a lot of newer anime series now too. Is when they quickly pop into chibi styles or like the tiger to show emotions. Like that is so cute, so funny. Like you see that in Apothecary Diaries. And you see that in Signs of Affection as well. It's just like a cute like break to show emotions. and a break of the anime style, which I enjoy.
Yeah, they got a funny way of using that with the main character Love is War as well.
Yeah.
She kind of had multiple split personalities whenever her brain went to court.
That show's something else. I can't wait to review it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I need to watch. Well, I feel like at least from what I've seen, because I didn't start watching anime till a few years ago, but it seems like the kind of genre of Toradora really took off in the time since Toradora, because I haven't seen hardly any like mid 2000s slice of life. I'm trying to think of.
There's not many. Because I'm trying to think of some. There's Clenade. I'm more thinking of the art style because that's how I sort of think of it.
Right.
Their 2010 romance ones were Clenade. Toradora. I think Maid Sama was sort of in that range. Love Chibuyu. My Sugar Life or something like Sugar something. I don't know.
If you're talking about Happy Sugar Life, we had.
Oh wait, no.
Did you see the Okay, I was gonna say.
Not that one. No.
Did you see the conversation in the Discord about that?
Oh yeah. Nick, he showed me the trailers. I question.
Sure, he'd love to come be a guest back for that one. Might have to solo the podcast though, because we might not be able to get through that.
No.
Which, yeah, good promotion to join the Discord. So you can go bash Nicholas on his Happy Sugar Life anime opinions.
And just watch all the chaotic conversations that we have. I really don't know what sort of chaos we're on what day.
I mean, it's called Radio Chaos.
Yeah.
So it's in the brand.
Yeah. It's called that for a reason. And it really is. Mm-hmm. It's like we're either having a war on Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know it's not caffeinated, but I need, before the next episode, I need to try Chick-fil-A's key lime frosted lemonade.
Mm-hmm. You need to try it for me because that sounds good. It sounds like a key lime pie, but in a shake form.
Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I love key lime pie.
It is so good.
Like yeah, it's so good.
It is. You need to report back on the shake. Plus, it's almost Starbucks' new menu drop season.
Yes. I just want my lavender matcha. That's all I want. Mm-hmm. They better bring it back.
I wonder if they will.
If they don't, I'm personally emailing the CEO of Starbucks. It's not going to be a good day for anyone. For no one, it will not be a good day. If that lavender matcha is not here, that is the only thing. Okay, I need to stop. This is sounding concerning. It's not the only thing that will get me through these next few months. That sounds really depressing. But I need it, okay?
It sounds like you're addicted to caffeine, which was the conversation of the last episode.
Yeah, that was so long ago.
It was.
Matchas
really
don't
was.
even have that much caffeine. I don't even think Starbucks has that good of matcha. But
They don't. They really don't.
But I don't know, the lavender foam with it is okay. I'm good now. We don't do iced coffee breaker segment on this episode, but we brought it back anyway.
We're as an interruption.
It's yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah. Back to the art style. I don't really have any other thoughts about it besides that I love the personality of it.
It is. It's very lifelike. And yeah. I do sometimes enjoy cell block more than the realistic cell block. I don't know why. It's sort of very nostalgic. It reminds me of Pokemon.
That's what I was thinking. It definitely reminds me of Pokemon.
Like, definitely, like, Diamond and Pearl gen Pokemon. Actually, no. Black and White Pokemon.
Thinking more like Hoenn, but probably all of those, really.
Like, a combination of three. Like, the art style is more Hoenn. But the color vibrancy is more like Black and White.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Sorry.
No, nothing else.
Okay. I need to get out of the habit of saying I listen back to these, or just I've looked at on Apple Podcast, there's like an AI episode. I feel like I showed you this with Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah.
There's now the AI like shows you the script for the podcast episode. And it's so funny how you'll just see, yeah. And I'm like, oh. Rookie podcaster problems.
Going in silence was and yeah.
Right.
It's fine. Not even through the first season yet.
Hey, we're getting close though.
We are.
We've got some things coming. Yeah.
So y'all should definitely subscribe so then you could watch and be there for all the surprises.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you found us recently, check out our backlog of we had a whole year, and I think you will want to listen to some of these episodes before March comes around because of an episode we have planned. So
yeah, would be a good idea.
Yeah, now's the time.
Catch up while you can, or it'll be like Maddie's anime list that keeps on building up.
It's a problem.
We're using the podcast to fix it though.
Yeah. We are, which is why some people want me to start a book podcast, and I'm like, when?
You're already juggling 2 other podcasts.
I know, like how and when. You tell me. I literally have to stream just to actually play video games, so the struggle's real.
Yes, but if you like the idea, maybe you can convince us. By leaving a comment.
Yes.
We may actually do it. We both. And I'm not watching anime, I'm reading.
Honestly, I still think like a Radio Chaos, like rotating host type of show could actually work.
I think it would be fun.
There's so many different people here with like different reading tastes that
we all love reading.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're not fighting over Chick-fil-A, we're we're going into deep discussions over books.
Right.
And we have all the niches. We have the video game.
Multiple video game
podcasts. We have a couple video game news. We have, and it's the TV shows like us. I think we're one of the main.
Yeah, there's also Glitch, which is more niche.
More niche. It's more of like its own TV show. I don't know.
It's Glitch is a indie animation studio. Yeah.
I need to watch more of Glitch.
I have still not seen Murder Drones. Can't talk. If you're listening to this, Presto, I will still. It's been like a year and a half, and I still won't watch it. Just to be like that.
People are going to come after you.
I watched. That would have been a better use of time than watching all of Twilight in 48 hours last weekend.
Yeah.
That was another Discord conversation that was fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin on that series, but we're not a movie podcast, so it's fine.
We only talk about anime and sometimes manga, but we haven't gone to the manga yet, and I don't know if we will.
Yeah, that's an even bigger commitment.
Very much. But yeah. This has turned into advertisement for Radio Chaos.
Yeah, pretty much.
But please join and tell us if you want a book podcast. Maybe it'll happen eventually.
Maybe you can join and make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I realize we're already starting to wrap up. Yet we still even haven't talked about the soundtrack of Toradora. Which is nothing to talk about, but I did love the first intro.
Yes, that felt like an anime intro.
It did.
Like when I think of anime, like I love the way the song went with it.
It did, and it was boppy, it was cute. And I believe it had a cameo in Weathering With You.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember, or no, it was a different song, but it had a very similar tune. Because, like, they were in Shibuya, and one of the idol trucks goes by playing the tune. Or maybe it's just a tune that sounds very similar to the intro.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Either way, I love the intro. I think it's a cute little boppy one.
It is.
Yeah. It's definitely different from any of the other anime intros in some ways. This is usually anime, a lot of the ones that I've seen are very heavy rock metal for some reason. Like, I think of Lisa, Yasobi, Creepy Nuts, and, like, Bump a Chicken, or Mrs. Green Apple doing the intros.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, also just shout out to the name of bands in anime because they're crazy.
They are. They're so good.
I mean, not in anime. J-pop bands.
J-pop bands.
You know what I'm saying.
Most J-pop bands are anime. In some shape or form.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the anime makes them popular, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I honestly, I don't remember anything about the second intro.
Neither do I. I just remember I didn't care for it much.
Yeah, I actually don't remember anything about it. So it must have been kind of lame.
Yeah. I believe there was one piano soundtrack that was really good. But I can't remember the name or the tune. I just remember there was only one good soundtrack.
When I'm looking for segment transition in like the intro and outro for editing this, maybe I'll find it there and then we'll know what you're talking about. All I remember is this one little transitional type song that I think it was on it sounded like it was with like a ukulele.
Really?
Maybe guitar. I don't
know.
Probably guitar, but there's like one little theme I remember. And apart from that, not really.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in some ways, not having a soundtrack carry is always a good thing because that means the plot was good enough to allow the show to develop without needing a soundtrack to carry it.
Yeah, I don't typically remember the soundtracks of slice of life shows very much.
Never.
Yeah.
Every now and then there can be, but
yeah.
Definitely for this one, no.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Honestly, not really.
Mm.
Should we get into what we're covering next episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, on this next episode, we will be back to a full-length episode at the end of this month, and it is going to be on a movie called Look Back.
Yeah. We got a comment about it a couple episodes ago, and I gave it a watch, and I found it really good. And we needed something for the month of January to review, so we decided, why not? And we do read every single comment that y'all drop. We've gotten a request to do Yono of Dawn, which we have not forgotten. It's on our list. We will do it.
Yes.
So, if you have any other anime requests for us to review, we will get to it. We will see it and we'll add it to our list and get to it eventually.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, with that, should I close the episode out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we already advertised the Radio Chaos Discord, but please join it. The link is in the the description of this episode. Hopefully, somewhere comment if you can't. If you ever have any questions, comment on YouTube, comment on the Spotify episode, comment, and then join the Discord. Anywhere, if you need to contact us, do that. And as far as episode recommendations, series, oh my gosh, series recommendations. As far as series recommendations go, those are the main ways to ask us. So,
yes.
But I would recommend the Discord above all else because that's mainly where we're hanging out.
Yep.
And if you want to hear us talk about what we're watching or anything else besides when we're recording. Right.
Yeah, we definitely go and have a lot of conversations about other anime that's off mic. Like we've been talking a lot about Dan.
Yep.
Which that is a good series.
Yeah.
And we talk about a lot of random stuff.
Yeah. So
Happy
also Blue Box.
Yes, Blue Box.
Yeah. Also, if you're interested in things other than anime, if you're a nerd and basically anyway, there's people in this community. If you are a Nintendo gamer, there's the Gamer Girl podcast and Off the Wall. If we mentioned Glitch, there's a few other podcasts in the community that are maybe coming back soon, so stay on the lookout for that. And there's YouTubers. There's me, Purple Riolu, so you should subscribe to me if you want to see me play through some interesting, mainly Nintendo games. And I'm a co-host on the Gamer Girl podcast, so I'd love if you check that out. Yeah. So with that, also we would love reviews. So
very much.
Wherever, Apple Podcasts or just 5 stars on Spotify. Because you can't write a review. Yeah, like on YouTube, subscribe.
Comment. Any interaction really helps us.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Okay. Well then, with that, you all have a fantastic rest of your day or whatever time morning or night. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.